Two familiar foes do battle once again in section softball competition. The winner moves on to the section finals next week, and the loser could make their way in there, but they will have to play on Tuesday. It's the Maple Grove Crimson and Centennial Cougars right here on North Metro TV. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to a picture-perfect Friday afternoon at Centennial High School. I'm Mike Peden. She's Blythe Whaley. Blythe, Maple Grove and Centennial, these two teams have a lengthy history, not just because they're conference rivals, but every time they meet in section play, it comes down to the wire. Last year was certainly the case. Their regular season meeting was a one-run game, so all the indications suggest we could have another nail-biter today.
Yeah, exactly. Both these teams coming into today's matchup, they know it's really going to be which team comes ready to play. And it's the playoffs, so you feel that excitement, that energy that is here already. And both these teams, they seem ready to play.
You had a chance to talk to both sides before the game began. What are we looking for? What are the two teams looking to do as we take a look at Riley O'Connell, who will pitch for Centennial?
Yeah, you see it. Caitlyn Craig has pitched so much for Centennial throughout the season, and now getting to have another pitcher step up for Centennial, the confidence in her. But Caitlyn Craig, someone that did it for them last year, and so just seeing what that happens with Riley O'Connor being there.
There's a look at the defensive alignment for Centennial. O'Connell, that ERA, .53, so she will be a tough nut to crack. Byrne, Gilmore, Cummins are the outfielders. Just Thomas, Helseth, Craig are the infielders. And Bryn Ruberg is the catcher for Centennial, who will take the field first since they are the home team today. Maple Grove will bat first. They won it all back in 2019, the Class 4A state title, that is. And here is a look at their lineup. Alyssa Werns will bat leadoff. Danny Strom follows, Elizabeth Berry third, Caitlyn Casper in cleanup. Leela Eiley will go fifth, Sam Gustafson sixth, Maddie William seventh, Ava Eiley eighth, and Faith Cry completes the lineup. Taryn Hansen is the flex player for Maple Grove.
Yeah, Maple Grove Crimson have just been talking about how well their defense has been doing this season, but obviously they've had some good offense to be at this point as well. They're getting those runs, and they did it in the first matchup, like we said.
And both teams are battle tested. They had to squeak out close victories in yesterday's second round action, and a first pitch swing by Juarez goes out of play, strike one. Juarez, the center fielder. Maple Grove beat Champlain Park 2-0 yesterday. Centennial edged Spring Lake Park right here 1-0 in a busy evening for Centennial Athletics. Here's the 0-1 pitch. O'Connell finds the zone, 0-2.
And that's what she wants to do when she starts off here, just build on her confidence that she has there on the mound.
I'd say she has plenty of it. You saw that record in the ERA in the opening graphic. Here's the 0-2. Called, third strike. And a fine start for Juarez. It looked like that last one split just as the catcher caught it, but it was in the zone. Like you know, as you know, Blythe, painting the corner is such a crucial element for pitchers.
Oof, yeah. And again, that's exactly what Centennial wants. They're gonna put themselves in good position here already with this one out on the board.
So that will bring up Danny Strom. Lays off that one, wide left, ball one. Maple Grove and Centennial, two teams that are usually in the conversation in 4A softball. Centennial got the nod last year, got the berth, that is, out of this section, section 5, as Strom takes that pitch for a strike, 1-1. Maple Grove won it all in 2019. Of course, there was no tournament in 2020. Maple Grove fans will remember that emotional victory over Stillwater 3 years ago. That was a one-run game. That one low, missed the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike to Danny Strom. Check swing, but that hit the zone, so 2-2 to Strom. Blythe, we've seen 2 batters, but only 1 swing that made contact with the ball in the early going.
Yeah, it only bodes well for Centennial. If they can keep this pitching up, I think they can definitely put themselves in early positioning.
Well, there's a grounder to short, picked up by Just. The throw to first in time for out number 2. Well, just as I say that, we do see a ball put in play, but O'Connell got what she wanted, inducing the grounder.
Yeah, if you're still able to put a ball in there that's tough to hit, you get hits like that that aren't going to make a huge play for you. Centennial had enough time to get that one over to first.
Elizabeth Berry at the plate now. First pitch swing into the backstop, and Blythe got out of the way. It's a good thing we have that fencing, or we would be in big trouble.
I know, there's always just that little hesitation because you're like, you never know. You never know if it came up and over, but it's highly doubtful. But it feels like it could.
With me around, it's possible.
Yeah.
Strike 1 to Berry. That one low, 1-1.
I mean, it was National Redhead Day. I was told by Ted, our director, yesterday that yesterday was, but the red hair is a target, so you never know. It could be coming for me.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. National Redhead Day, and you celebrate, well, I guess the way you would want to, calling a game. I know you had girls lacrosse yesterday, I had boys lacrosse right here, but you can't keep us apart forever. Here's the 1-2 pitch from O'Connell. That one hit down the left field line, but it hooks foul. You were talking about Craig and her pitching performance this season, Blythe. O'Connell pitching well, Craig pitching well. It doesn't matter who is on the mound for Centennial. They seem to deliver.
And what's interesting is because Craig, she was pitching against them in that first matchup this season that they lost, or the only matchup that they had prior to this game. And so it's an interesting decision.
There's another grounder to Just. Fields it cleanly, and the throw to first is in time. So a 1-2-3 inning for Centennial. And Blythe, to your point, maybe that is one of those adjustments you make between the first meeting and the second meeting. Centennial will get their turn to bat. As you take another look, a fine first inning for O'Connell with a strikeout for good measure. So there is a look at Centennial. We'll see if we can get their lineup for you. Otherwise, I can read it off. The pitcher for Maple Grove is Maggie Wilm, that much I can tell you. And there is the lineup. Lily Gilmore will go first. Alexa Just will follow. Aline Craig bats third. Bryn Ruberg in the cleanup position. Riley O'Connell goes fifth. Adriana Thomas sixth. Brooke Helseth seventh. Jordan Lemire, the designated player, and Celsi Byrne, the flex player for Centennial, is Lily Cummins. And there's Maddie Wilm. And here's a look at the defensive alignment. Cry, Werns, and Strom, the outfielders from Maple Grove. Hanson, Berry, Leah Eiley, and Caitlyn Casper, the infielders. Ava Eiley, the catcher, and Maddie Wilm, who you just saw on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, Maddie Wilm, first-year varsity pitcher, so just getting some experience this season, and coaching staff saying that she's been pitching quite well here lately.
Gilmore hitting .293 this season. Takes the first pitch for a strike. .293, on base percentage .349. All singles.
coaching staff also told me that the difference between the pitcher that the Cougars saw last year in this position and Maddie this season is just Maddie is really a hard pitcher. She throws that ball so hard in there.
Here comes the 0-2. Got her. Called third strike, and Gilmore is retired. That one, another pitch that painted the corner. High and outside, but it found the zone. Here is Just, she's hitting .304, on base percentage .757. OPS, I think I said on base percentage. Her on base is .351, her OPS is .757. I think you knew what I was going for, as Just takes that first pitch for a strike. That one goes high, 1-1. Blythe, when you have a heater like Wilm who can fire off rockets, control obviously is paramount no matter what your velocity is, but when you throw heaters like she does, how does that come into play at the plate?
Yeah, you just think about what does that contact look like? Whoever is up to bat, now having to have those reaction times just a little bit quicker than they're used to potentially, just with how fast this one is going to come in. And like you said, placement might not be as big of an issue when she is pitching.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. That one hit down the right field line, but foul.
And both teams really just wanting to stay consistent, keep themselves in this game as long as they can. In that matchup this season that they had already, no runs happened until that fourth inning. So if they can keep themselves, like we said, just all of the games that they've had recently in the last year have been such a close matchup too.
And based on my observation, which I'll share after this 1-2, and Just goes down swinging. When you have teams with strong pitching, low scoring games are common. We see that a lot in postseason play. You're not going to get many opportunities to put runs on the board. And here's Alina Craig, who will try to get on base, as Wilm picked up her second strikeout. Craig on the season hitting .333, OPS of .949. Takes that first pitch for a ball. 6 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run. Craig, one of 4 players to go yard this season. That one wide and outside, 2-0.
Caitlyn Craig had 2 RBIs in that matchup earlier this season. So she was the one to help them get those 2 runs that they had.
Another pitch that gets away from the zone. 3-0, and Helene Craig has a favorable count here. A lot of times we'll see batters take the next pitch. Let's see what Craig does. And she does take that pitch for a strike. And both teams, again, coming off of section games yesterday, which I think factored into the pitching equation because of the limits that are placed on pitchers as far as maximum and number of days off. Another strike, and we've got a full count.
So yeah, interesting to think about. A couple of those things could have played a factor, just wanting to switch up the pitcher that they saw last time, but also, like you said, now having her have pitched last night.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. And 3 strikeouts for Wilm, so we remain scoreless as we head to the top of the second.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
A reminder that whoever wins this game will get an automatic berth to the section final next Thursday. The loser of this game will go to the losers bracket. As you know, section playoffs are double elimination. So they will play on Tuesday. That is what's at stake though, Blythe. You win this game, then you know you'll have at least 2 chances, or at most 2 chances to get your way into state.
Yeah, and what's so interesting, of course, we saw the Cougars make it there just a season ago. And what's interesting is today, in this matchup, Coach Rick Thomas was telling me that these ladies, they don't want to talk about last season's team. They're this season's team. They want to make sure that they've stayed focused on what they are capable of this season. Don't want to have those thoughts. But he says his team plays the best when they're relaxed and they go out there and they have fun. So he's really preaching that to his ladies, just to come play their game, and everything will take care of itself.
Here's Caitlyn Casper. I'm not sure how relaxed you can be when you take on a foe like Maple Grove. These two highly familiar with each other, being conference rivals. As O'Connell delivers a strike. Casper, Leah Eiley, and Gustafson are due up here for the Crimson. And another strike.
And we got to see the Cougars make history already earlier this season. Conference champs, back-to-back years, has never happened for Centennial until this season.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, low. 1-2. Centennial winning the conference, even though they went 16-5, lost to Maple Grove. That just tells you how competitive this conference has been and how competitive 4A softball is. And Caitlyn Casper goes down swinging, the second strikeout for Riley O'Connell.
Hey, let's go, Levin. Stay hot, kid. Come on.
As we take another look, O'Connell, 85 strikeouts entering this game. So that will bring up Leah Eiley.
Get it, Leah. Get it, Leah. Come on, kid.
First pitch, swing and a miss. O'Connell, that ERA .52. Her whip, walks, hits per inning pitched, 0.81. Craig actually has the lower number, .75. That's foul, so 0-2 to Leah Eiley. So Centennial, their pitching rotation, a trio that doesn't let too many opponents on base.
I know, so if either of these teams do get someone on base, they're gonna wanna use it to their advantage, make sure that they take that opportunity and seize it.
O'Connell has other ideas. She gets Leah Eiley to retire. Back-to-back strikeouts, and that'll bring up Sam Gustafson. Maple Grove, their season has been a little topsy-turvy as Gustafson takes the first pitch for a ball. Maple Grove started the season with a 7-game winning streak. Then they dropped 4 out of 5, then won 4 of their next 5. Lost a pair of games to White Bear Lake and Eden Prairie, as we have a 1-1 count to Sam Gustafson. And ended the regular season with a 9-4 win over Wyzetta. That pitch low, 2 balls and a strike. Softball, though, one of those sports that's really hard to predict. Last year, Stillwater was the #1 seed. They looked like the strongest candidate, but they got an unlucky draw. I'll get to that in a moment. As we've got a knock to left field. That goes just underneath Byrne, and that will go for extra bases as Sam Gustafson trots to second.
As I talked about just moments ago, how can Maple Grove look to seize this moment? Getting someone on base hasn't happened this matchup, and you think about how little it could happen throughout the rest of this game.
A 2-out double that will bring up Maddie Wilm, who would certainly like to help her own cause here. And again, the season not on the line for either of these teams. The winner gets a few days off. The loser will play again on Tuesday, owing to the double elimination format. Will takes that first pitch for a ball. But last year, Stillwater was the #1 team based on seeding, but Forest Lake was the one thorn in their side. They drew Forest Lake in the quarterfinals and found themselves eliminated. Rosemount won it all last year, so this is one of those sports it's really hard to predict. Two and 0. First base is open, and 2 out. There's a strike, and going back to that relaxed tone that Centennial is trying to set for themselves, Blythe. With a runner on second, you know 1 out is all you need, so I don't think Centennial will flinch too much in this situation.
Yeah, we've seen them have some good outs in that outfield, so if something does come their way.
3-1.
Something that's working for Maple Grove also is they made sure that they had a tough non-conference schedule. They made sure they played up against teams that were in the top 10.
Swing and a miss, 3-2.
And to finish that thought, just playing against those top teams to make sure they are ready for this moment that they are in today.
Maple Grove, though, they've got some lengthy history in the sport of softball, so they're not one to back away from a challenge. Payoff pitch with 2 out. And we'll do this again as that one is fouled to the backstop. O'Connell looking to end a threat from Maple Grove with a runner on second. Pitcher versus pitcher. Wilm hits that one foul. That's what good batters do, though, Blythe. They keep the at-bat alive, foul away pitches, and this is where it turns into that chess match that you hear about all the way up to the pros.
Yeah, and that's why both of these teams, again, they just need to make sure they're making those plays to stay in it. Everything can change as we get later on in this game.
Riley O'Connell changes Centennial's fortunes in a hurry, getting Wilm on a called third strike. She has 4 strikeouts. We head to the bottom of the second.
something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Due up for the Cougars in the bottom of the second. Ruberg, O'Connell, and Thomas. Mike Peden and Blythe Whaley with you. Section 5 4A semifinal. Bracket final is how they're officially categorizing it, but effectively this is the semifinal. The winner will play next Thursday. The loser will have to play in from the loser's bracket next Tuesday.
And no one wants to do that, so.
I'm sure you didn't.
Yeah, it's one of those where you think about how can you put yourselves in position to not have to go through all those steps just to get back into that final game.
Well, going back to the unpredictability of this sport, that 2019 year, or I should say last year, Stillwater, the 1 seed, they were knocked out. 2019 when they got in, I was shooting highlights and I had to ride it out for the long haul because Stillwater and Cretin-Durham Hall met. Stillwater came in from the losing side of the bracket, but they won twice and punched their ticket to state. They won it all, of course, back in 2018. Here's a grounder to third that's picked up by Hansen. The throw to first is in time, and Ruberg is retired in 1 pitch.
Yeah, unfortunate for Centennial there, just trying to get anything on these pitches, just seeing that speed that they're able to come across the plate.
That's the first ball put in play by Centennial. Here's Riley O'Connell hitting .417, OPS 1015. She has 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run. So O'Connell bringing some power to her bat. First pitch is high for ball 1. One thing I enjoy about the high school version of baseball and softball, you don't see this often in the pros, the pitchers going against each other.
Yeah, I do too. I love those. I just think too, like mentally, they know exactly what that pitcher is trying to put against them.
O'Connell hits that one foul, and I'm thinking those two can pick up on spin rates. They'd almost have an advantage as to what pitch is coming their way.
True.
They can probably read spin rates at a higher degree than your position players. One and one. Wilm with 3 strikeouts in the first inning. O'Connell chases that one, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And with that point too that you just mentioned, that could be why Craig was the only one to get those RBIs in the first matchup between these two, being a pitcher herself.
Swing and a miss. And Wilm picks up her 4th strikeout. That will bring up Adriana Thomas. Good crowd here for this kickoff to Memorial Day weekend. And summery weather. Here's the first pitch to Thomas. It's a strike.
Yeah, do you have any plans? Do you have the usual that's coming up for you?
I don't know what the usual is these days.
True.
Okay, well, I guess it is the unofficial start to summer and grilling, so we've got some burgers on the menu. And Wilm is looking to get a double cheeseburger past this Centennial lineup, which he's doing as Thomas swings and misses for strike 2. Hitting .207 on the season. A mixed strikeout, as Ted describes it. Here's Wilm, who wants to put a whopper of a pitch, and she does. A 1-2-3 inning. Wilm picks up 2 more strikeouts. She has 5 already. We go to the top of the third, still scoreless.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
Due up for the Crimson in the top of the third, Ava Eiley, Faith Cry, and Alyssa Werns. Blythe through 2 innings. This doesn't surprise me, but we have the makings of a pitcher's duel, which tends to be the theme when you get to section semis and finals.
Yeah, you are not wrong to say that. It really has been that pitching duel, and I think throughout this matchup, it's going to be. And so, again, I'm going to say this probably numerous times throughout this broadcast is you have to take advantage when you do get in that position to get someone on base, having 2 phenomenal pitchers for both of these teams. It's going to be difficult to get in position. And when they do, who's next up? How do they also make sure that they can help get those runs in? And I think right now, I mean, Maple Grove has shown they hit that one at least into the outfield, got in position to get that double. But I think realistically throughout this next couple innings, it's going to be the test. Will something fall through those cracks? Are these pitchers going to be able to hold up and keep this scoreless game going?
The Crimson did get that double from Gustafson, but she was stranded. I'm wondering, whoever's running graphics, should we keep a counter of the number of times Blythe mentions taking advantage of getting runners on base? But really, it comes down to that. You can't necessarily rely on your hitters to get that extended rally that you might get when you play a lower level team, something I saw a lot covering visitation games this spring. Strike 1 to Eiley, Ava Eiley. There are 2 of them.
I just want everyone to seize the moment, okay? Just kidding.
Carpe diem.
Yeah.
Seize the day.
Yeah.
Come on, kid. Come on, 2-3.
If any of these athletes who watch this understand that reference, let me know. I'll give you a shout out. 1-1. Grounder right to Craig, and she'll take care of the out herself.
Jason DeRusha had it on his coffee today. He posted Carpe Diem. I feel like it's everywhere now. That's his name. Yes. Yeah, it's crazy that he's retiring here. Well, I'm a little bummed, but I'm glad for him. Hopefully he gets to enjoy his time.
Hey, that means there's an opening at CCO, so you'd fit right in.
Yes.
We'd have to find another announcer to replace you, though, because you do such a good job. We've got a bunt that pops up and is caught by Ruberg. So Faith Cry retired in 1 pitch.
Hey, we go with 2-18, bro. All right, go 2.
Nice heads-up play by Ruberg on the attempted bunt. And here comes Alyssa Werns. I have a feeling Ruberg will add that to her highlight reel at the team banquet following the conclusion of the season. Off-speed pitch, comebacker, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Centennial. O'Connell in the groove. Can Centennial get her some support? We'll find out at the bottom of the third coming up.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Due up for the Cougars in the bottom of the third, Helseth, Lemire, and Byrne. But right now, Blythe, it's the pitchers who are burning hot.
Yeah.
Wilm with 5 strikeouts. O'Connell with 4. They are dominating this game.
Yeah, and they've continued to do so, and I can see that that's going to be the trajectory of today. They've done a great job this season. It's crazy to think the Maple Grove pitcher just her first season on varsity and stepping up big time.
First season on varsity, but I imagine no stranger to this sport. Wilm, the junior, making quite the impression today as she throws another first pitch strike. Brooke Helseth hitting .317 this season, OPS .719. Has a pair of doubles. Five strikeouts and a ground out for Wilm thus far. And now she has Helseth behind on the count, 0-2. That pitch high, Helseth lays off, 1-2. Tip foul. That keeps the at-bat alive for Helseth.
And what I like is always just hearing teams cheering on their fellow teammates out there on the field or who's up to bat. And I think throughout the season, Centennial's done a good job there at the fence.
We're right next to the Maple Grove dugout, and we've been hearing a lot of encouragement from their side, too. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 for Maddie William. That will bring up Jordan Lemire. Blythe, how does Centennial get past Wilm? Just one ball put in play. Everything else has been a strikeout. Lemire hitting .244. 663 OPS. And she takes that first pitch for a strike, and that's one thing that certainly helps Blythe. If you're a pitcher like Wilm, if you can get those first pitch strikes, start ahead in the count, that opens up a lot of options.
Yeah, and as far as Centennial, how can you keep that count rolling?
We have a ball put in play, but it's a pop-up. Caught by Leah Eiley for out number 2.
Something I was going to say is for Centennial to try to figure out getting a hit here, I think the biggest thing is, again, how can they stay consistent? How can they stay in this game? Yes, it still could be 0-0 as they get later into it, but just taking advantage of maybe when Wilm gets a little bit tired, her pitch isn't as strong as it's been so far. You never know as we get later on, that could maybe start to dwindle a little bit.
It might take a while, though, the way Wilm is pitching another first pitch strike. Byrne hitting 200 on the season.
All it takes is one.
That's true. She lays off that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah.
I just realized our GoPro is in the field of play, so any foul tips in that area, we'll get a great shot.
Yeah, I'm excited. As much as obviously, I mean, the GoPros, they can stand up to a lot of things happening to them, so.
Let's see if Byrne can stand up to Wilm on this 1-2 count. Got a foul tip. That keeps the at-bat alive. Maddie William with a sensational performance thus far. A 1-2-3 inning of strikeouts in the first. Added 2 more in the second. Looking to put Byrne away here. And Byrne fouls that one. So we stay 1-2. Old familiars, these two. Called third strike. Wilm adds 2 more to her tally. She has 7 through 3 innings, and we head to the top of the 4th, still scoreless.
Hi, everyone. Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Still working on 8 1/3 shutout innings. Hopkins through the hall. Centennial.
Centennial needed to win twice, and they did to get to state, and they won the second meeting on an overthrow to pick up a 4-3 win. Like you said, Blythe, all it takes is one. Whoever commits the first mistake in this game, that could decide the winner.
Yeah, it's interesting again, even just that matchup they had this season already. It came to the 4th inning for any runs to come in. So this could be the inning that changes everything. However, it stayed tied after the 4th. Both teams had 2 runs in their 4th inning. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this one.
You were present for both games last year, Blythe. What do you recall? It's crazy to think that Centennial got their way to state with 1-run victories in both meetings in the semis and finals.
I mean, you feel how it comes down to that last bit. Heated battle, both teams wanting to be the team that moves on. And again, you hear how vocal both these teams were. Definitely consistent with what it was last season. But they gritted it out, and again, it also was a pitching battle last season that we're seeing today. And so it seems a lot of things seem to be familiar with what we had last year.
Denny Strom at the plate. She has a 1-1 count. No runs, just 1 hit. That came from Maple Grove, the 2-out double by Gustafson. A knock to right center field. That will be fielded, so it will be a single as Cummins got there in time, but Maple Grove gets a runner on in Strom.
Come on, Biz. Nobody better, kid. Come on.
Elizabeth Berry will try to do something with it. Not a situation we've seen often, a runner on base.
Yeah, it is the 4th inning. I told you. Could be coming.
Strom was showing steal there as Berry takes that first pitch for a ball. Pitch high, 2-0. Centennial did work their way out of a threat back in the second when Gustafson hit that 2-out double. That one fouled, 2-1.
That's again where you can't panic. Sure, yep, you let someone on base, but how do you work your way out of it? And of course, Centennial pitched themselves out of that danger.
Casper on deck. That's a strike and almost an overthrow to first. As Ruberg was trying to pick off Strom. Got to be careful if you're Centennial. Two and two to Elizabeth Berry. Strom on first. Foul tip. You might have heard from the dugout, Maple Grove telling Berry, just takes one. That's what Berry's hoping for on this 2-2 pitch. Low, makes contact with it, and Centennial will take the out at first. So Berry is retired. Strom advances to second.
And all of these ladies coming up after Strom, just wanting to make sure that they can help her out, move her around these bases. And they want to be that one that's the difference maker for their team today.
One down, and Caitlyn Casper.
But Centennial, same thing. I mean, when you're on defense, how can you be that difference maker? Who's going to be the one to make the big play?
Well, in that last sequence, Centennial didn't try to do anything fancy. Take the free out. Get those outs any way you can. A comebacker. That's a big out for Centennial as Casper is retired in one pitch. Strom does advance to third, but Centennial gets out number 2.
Yeah, and that's a big one. They just need one more out now. And I think for them, you think about what that can do if they do make it out here in the 4th without allowing a run.
And we've got a mound visit. I don't believe we have a mound visit limit at this level like we do in the pros. But Maple Grove with a legitimate scoring chance here in the top of the 4th. Leah Eiley will take her turn at the plate when we resume action.
I think the biggest thing for Centennial too is how do you just limit any of those errors that could happen in a moment like this. Take advantage of being still a scoreless game, that they can retire this inning.
First pitch to Eiley. Missed the zone, ball 1. Something to keep in mind as Centennial navigates the situation. O'Connell has fewer strikeouts compared to Wilm, but O'Connell has induced 3 groundouts right back to her. And she'll pick up a 4th 1-3 put out, so O'Connell strands Strom, and Centennial limits the damage. We head to the bottom of the 4th, still no score.
Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing this song. Wash, washy, wash, washy, wash, wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
Strikeouts aplenty in this game. Maddie William retiring the order the first time through. Riley O'Connell giving up a couple of hits, but she has 4 strikeouts and 4 1-3 groundouts. So Blythe We are seeing a pitcher's duel in two different forms.
Yeah, and which pitcher is going to be the one that can last? Who's going to hold up? How can they keep this consistency going? And I think for both of these teams, they've proved that they've already been able to do it thus far. And neither of them seem to be, teetering from that path that they've already set for themselves.
Maple Grove with 2 hits, but Centennial starts their second trip through the order, and Blythe, sometimes that can make a difference. We'll start with Gilmore.
As we get later into this, of course, they've already went up against Maddie William, and that helps them. Already kind of seeing exactly how she's pitching. Of course, she can switch those things up, but there's still the consistency that she's going to throw that ball, and she's going to throw it very hard.
Again, Wilm retiring the Centennial batting order the first time through. She has a 1-0 count against Gilmore here, and that's just the third ball put into play for Centennial. Unfortunately for them, it's a comebacker right to Wilm, and Gilmore is retired. Centennial has yet to put a runner on base. Alexa Just will try to change that. High. Ball 1. Gilmore, Justin, Craig were the 3 due up in this half of the inning, and all 3 struck out the first time up. Just fouls that one. Behind the backstop. One pitch. Fouled. 1-2. High and away, 2-2, just laying off that time.
The longer she makes Wilm pitch, potentially there could be a slip up. She's shown that she's been able to make it through those deeper counts.
Just missed, and a full count for Just. Just has drawn 5 walks this season. Maddie William looking to continue her superb performance, and she gets Just looking. Strikeout number 8. And here comes Helene Craig, one of the pitchers for Centennial. The battle between pitchers. Now, Craig didn't get the start today, but anytime you get pitcher versus pitcher, as we spoke of, Blythe, that's where the chess match really turns up a notch.
Yeah, and again, Caitlyn Craig had the 2 RBIs in the first matchup between these 2 teams. She knows what it takes to get it done, and she's proved it already this season. And I already mentioned, too, that both of those runs that they did have in that matchup came in the 4th inning. So how crazy would it be if that happened here again?
1-1 to Craig. Maple Grove already beat this team once, 3-2 in their regular season meeting, being conference rivals. And Craig facing a 1-2 count. High and away, 2-2.
Great decision making there by Craig. Senior year, trying to make it count here.
13 RBIs for Craig. And a called third strike. Wilm adds 2 more strikeouts to her tally. She still has yet to allow a runner on. And we go to the top of the 5th, still no score.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Due up in the top of the 5th for the Crimson. It's Gustafson, Wilm, and Ava Eiley. Mike Meaden and Blythe Whaley with you. What a game this is turning out to be. Not a lot of balls put in play on the part of Centennial, just 3 times they've done that. Maple Grove has made contact a few more times, but like we said, O'Connell inducing 4-1-3 groundouts, including 3 in a row in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, it's crazy to think last season, just with how many, so 3 of the last 4 matchups have just been that single run winning it. But earlier last season, in the regular season, Maple Grove matched up against them, and 14-3 was that final score, which is nuts to think about what a drastic spread that was. And now, you know, like you said, any game could be different.
Since then, all 1-run games, and from the looks of it, 1 run may be more than enough. And a reminder, if you're watching this on North Metro TV or online on our YouTube channel, you can stay up to date on all the happenings involving North Metro TV on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And we have plenty of postseason coverage coming your way. We will keep you updated as it comes along. Lacrosse section seedings will be announced this weekend. And don't forget, in July, the USA Cup, one of the biggest events in the youth sports calendar. Wall-to-wall soccer action. Blythe, I'm sure you can't wait for that.
I know, it's crazy to think it's just around the corner.
That comes up in July. And graduation season starts next weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of students are glad about that.
Well, I know I was when I got my cap and gown all those years ago, before TikTok and smartphones were a thing.
Yeah, Blaine's graduation, 10 a.m. right here on North Metro TV. So getting to cheer on our schools.
I'm wondering, Blythe, do they send you out to do any commentary or?
No,
not that time. That would be a bit surreal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, be a lot of people's names to make sure you have right.
Sam Gustafson with a 2-1 count. She doubled in the 2nd. one of just 2 hits for Maple Grove. And they're the only team to get a runner on base. 2-2.
Yeah, it's crazy to think the semifinal game last year also took it down to that extra inning to get those runs to happen. You think about what it's like for both of these teams right now, sitting 0-0, anyone's game, anyone can take it, and it went all the way to 9 innings, and Centennial able to knock home that run to get it done.
Swing and a miss, and I think Gustafson got a piece of it. From that replay angle, hard to tell. My first thought was she didn't make contact, but the umpire said she did, so it remains a full count. Gustafson with a pop-up, and just with the catch. So no harm, no foul. Out number 1 is recorded.
In that last matchup between them, that Centennial won 4-3. It's crazy too, because Helene Craig having the 2 RBIs in that matchup, had it in the matchup earlier this season. So it was her having 2 of them in both of these recent games.
A lot of extra inning games between these two as Maddie William takes that first pitch for a ball. She struck out her first time up. Swing and a miss. One ball, one strike to Maddie Wilm, who has not allowed a single runner on base through 4 innings. Two and one.
Yeah, a lot to be proud of for her in that first year on varsity. Just thinking of the accomplishment of just what she's done even thus far in this game.
A battle of 1 versus 2. Again, the winner is off until next Thursday as Wilm fouls that one, 2-2. The loser will play again on Tuesday, and the winner of that game will face the winner of this game in the section final. The loser would have to win twice, of course. The winner just has to win once, owing to the double elimination format. 2-2. That one tipped foul. Wilm worked her way to a full count the last time up. She was the only batter to do that. A knock that rolls foul.
Now we talked about just the pitcher's IQ, what advantage they have as they step up to the plate. And we've seen it work out for our pitchers, having that advantage, taking it and using it at their opportunity at bat.
That one high and outside, so Wilm with another full count. And O'Connell having to labor a little bit more as of late. Wilm hits that one to the right field line, but foul. Wilm putting together a lengthy at-bat here against O'Connell.
And that can work to her advantage. Again, the further into the count, making the pitcher work for it. Get tired, possibly make a mistake, that you can rock it out of here.
Payoff pitch. Grounder, bobbled. And Wilm is safely aboard. Thomas couldn't hang on to it.
Those are those unfortunate things that happen. You haven't had to have too many of them. Those balls haven't really had to test those outfielders. And I think when you think about when you're somewhat lulled in a game, you get to see it here.
A runner on first with 1 out. Unofficially, that will go down as an E4. As Thomas was in position, just couldn't field it. And Wilm gets to first base. Here's another look. Thomas backed up the play, just couldn't make the play. And a first pitch swing that goes foul as Eva Eiley goes to the plate. We should point out that Elizabeth Van Lith is running for Maddie William. So Van Lith, the courtesy runner. Substitutions are more forgiving at this level. Eva Eiley with a strike. And again, O'Connell running into some headwinds here. Van Lith thought about going for it. Eiley laying off the bunt, 1-1.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up some of the wind. I felt like it all of a sudden kicked in and felt pretty nice with how much the sun is heating everyone up out here.
Another check bunt. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's something that the coaching staff of the Crimson noted, is they've been working on bunting this season. Maybe something that hadn't been a strength, and they wanted to make sure that they helped their team be able to make that happen. We'll see if they do that here today.
There's the bunt. And the sacrifice is made, so Van Lith goes to second. And Eiley is retired on the sacrifice play. Faith Cry comes up to the plate with the runner on second, but 2 out. And we'll have another mound visit. So Maple Grove getting the productive out they wanted, but Centennial just needs 1 more out to get out of this inning.
Yeah, we've seen them do that a few times already today. And so Centennial, how can they have the confidence in themselves that they can do this, even though the situation isn't great? They don't want to have someone on second, but they've been able to come out of it time and time again and keep this clean slate going. But more so, how do they stay loose? How do they stay composed? And that's what Coach Rick Thomas said they play their best at. And so I think if they put too much stress on having a player on second, that could go work against them.
Faith Cry popped out in foul territory trying to bunt. And she takes ball 1 there. Maple Grove trying to work their way past O'Connell. They've had runners on before, got as far as third in the last inning, but they have stranded 2. And Cry fouls that one, 1-1. That one low, but Ruberg stays on top of it. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kickoff to Memorial Day weekend.
don't always have perfect weather for Memorial Day weekend, but today, I don't think it could get much better than this.
Cry showing bunt again, and we see that a lot sometimes. Batters will show a bunt and try to stride to first while doing it. Cry with the 3-1 count. First base is open. O'Connell trying to get out of this inning. Swing and a miss. Full count. Payoff pitch. Got her. No, it didn't.
Now things starting to look interesting as Centennial's gonna have to work out of having 2 ladies on base.
Well, that payoff pitch got Cry to first base. On the walk, so runners at first and second, and Maple Grove mounting a legitimate threat here. Again, they did get a runner on third in Strom, but O'Connell, second time through the order, is running into some turbulence.
The biggest thing for Centennial, they just need that one more out.
Alyssa Warren's first pitch swing, and they get that out. A much needed catch by Cummins, and Centennial gets out of the jam. We're still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Due up in the bottom of the 5th for Centennial, Ruberg, O'Connell, and Thomas. And right now, the challenge for the Centennial lineup is how to get around Wilm. Maddie, 9 of her 12 outs that she has recorded thus far, strikeouts. And she has yet to allow a runner on.
But I think the biggest thing Centennial has working for them, if they are able to hit one into that outfield, they haven't had to do too much this game that potentially they could be lulled to sleep out there. Any error could happen for anyone. And with this 0-0 game, that one run could change it all.
Well, this game can't end in a tie. Postseason games can't, so there has to be at least one. Ruberg, first pitch, swing and a foul. Bryn Ruberg, again, leading the team in batting average, hitting .450, 1164 her OPS. 10 doubles, 1 triple. And not surprisingly, leading the team in RBIs, as you can see there. And those numbers were based on data prior to today's game. 1-1 to Ruberg. Weather was cloudy and cool yesterday, as you were mentioning, Blythe. Today, a lot nicer. It will be summery for the weekend. Perfect time, since it is the unofficial start to summer. Ruberg, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, we're ready for it. Bring on summer.
Oh, we'll bring it. Ruberg with a hit to left field. Cry reads it and makes the catch, 1 out. Well, there's the hit to the outfield you were talking about.
Yeah, she's someone who has been able to at least get a hit here on the Crimson pitcher, and I think the biggest thing potentially for her is if she can keep that up, who knows if she's going to be the one to make it happen for Centennial, but definitely at least she's getting close. She's getting some contact.
And here is Riley O'Connell, who got out of a 5th inning jam just a moment ago. Takes that first pitch for a strike. As this pitcher's duel continues, and remember, this is just a prologue. You can't win a state tournament berth just yet. That won't happen until Thursday. I do find it intriguing that for baseball and softball, you have double elimination in section play, but when you go to state, it's single elimination.
That is interesting. I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe because you already had to go through that to get there in the first place. I'm not sure.
O'Connell took that last pitch for a strike, 1-2. It's one of the oddities with this sport. Every other sport involving 2 teams, anyway, single elimination. Swing and a miss, and O'Connell is retired.
But as you noted, just that difference in a pitcher can change a lot of things for the game. And so having that double elimination could somewhat bring that to a more even keel of both teams possibly had to have a different pitcher against each other.
Maddie William, 10 strikeouts. Adriana Thomas chases that one for strike 1. 10 strikeouts through 14 batters.
Thomas still has another year.
0-2.
But the coach's daughter had a great season last year as well.
Three pitches, 3 strikes. Maddie Wilm, 11 strikeouts. She has a perfect game through 5. Maple Grove will try to get on the board when we return.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. Please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
2 up for the Crimson. Danny Strom, Elizabeth Berry, and Caitlyn Casper. Blythe, how O'Connell handles the top of the 6th here, that's going to be key. She had some turbulence in the 5th, got out of the jam, stranded 2, but between the 2 pitchers, you're noticing O'Connell starting to shake a little bit, so a good inning from her could get Centennial. Not that they're trailing, but it could help O'Connell at least get back on track.
Yeah, it's crazy to think the freshman has been doing just tremendously throughout the season.
I stand corrected. Centennial making a pitching change. There's Helene Craig.
Oh, this could change things.
So Craig will take over for O'Connell.
But congrats to O'Connell getting them to this point. Still unscathed, that 0-0 anyone's game. So she had a great appearance there.
And
pitching.
O'Connell will be moved to first base. An appeal was made, but Strom did not cross the plate, so it's ball one. A little bit of cloud cover now with the evening sun. Craig misses that one, 2-0. As we noted earlier, Helene Craig, ERA 1.50, her whip 0.75, lower than O'Connell's. And I believe Strom called time. There was a bit of a discussion about that. And so Ruberg and Craig will have a quick conference.
And the advantage for Centennial is these ladies haven't pitched against her today. And so having had in their mind coming up to play it, what would have been working for them. Obviously not a whole lot, not too many people have been able to get onto base. But still now maybe some of those things that they thought they figured out to try to do as they come up to go against O'Connell, but now they have to face Craig.
Well, O'Connell pitched 5 splendid innings, didn't allow a run, gave up a couple of hits and a walk. We have a 2-1 count on Strom. Gave up 2 hits, a walk, and then Wilm reached on the error by Thomas. And now Strom faces a 2-2 count. Grounded to third, and the play is made for out number 1. Elseth making the play there on the 5-3. And that will bring up Elizabeth Berry.
Yeah, but really good for Centennial to already have that out on the board. It's going to be crucial as we get towards the end of this. Not a whole lot of time left, of course, just the next inning.
Barring extras.
True.
Which these two teams had in their playoff meetings last year. Berry with a grounder to right field for a base hit. So Maple Grove gets another runner on. They have stranded 4, though, in this game. We'll see what Casper does here. We've seen Maple Grove, at least in the last inning, Ava Eiley went small ball and made the sacrifice with 1 out. Does Casper do the same? Take strike 1 there. Casper with a strikeout and a ground out in her first 2 at-bats. That one popped up out of play. Got a solid crowd here as Casper faces an 0-2 count. Bleachers are full, and you've got plenty of camping chairs along left field. Everyone waiting in anticipation for the first run as Casper takes that off-speed pitch for a ball, 1-2.
Yeah, these types of games, always interesting when you haven't been able to see one of those pop into the outfield, make a play. A lot of players out there not having to do too much.
2-2. And I know we talked about this in the pros, how frustrating it can be when you get a series of strikeouts, ground outs, and not a lot of action, but they have 2 fine pitching performances here.
But then that one moment happens that you have to be on your A game, and so still staying alert, attentive to make sure you're ready to make it happen if you have that.
Casper strikes out as Craig goes upstairs, and that big second out is recorded. Here comes Leah Eiley. That's the first strikeout for Craig.
Hey, think about how the importance of these outs continues to scale up and up as we get closer to that 7th inning, because if Centennial flips the script, can get this 3rd out, keep that 0 on the board, they have that chance to win it right there.
Eiley also struck out and grounded out in her first 2 at-bats. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Inside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, it's just that final push. How do you get that 3rd out?
High and away, 3 balls and a strike. Barry's still on first. Craig pitching in relief for O'Connell. Reads the signal and references the chart on her left wrist. Every Centennial player has one. A cheat sheet, if you will, or at least it looks that way. And Eiley fouls that to the backstop, so a full count. Every Centennial player, as you can see in their left arm, they have that cheat sheet, it looks like.
Yeah, making sure everyone's on the same page.
Well, that's one way to enforce good communication. Here's the payoff pitch, and we'll do this again. Centennial winning conference 2 years in a row. They won back-to-back in 06 and 07. Last year was just their 2nd section title. Swing and a miss. So Eiley is retired, and we head to the bottom of the 6th as Maple Grove and Centennial continue their scoreless duel.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Maddie William with a perfect game through 5. Helseth, Lemire, and Byrne due up for the Cougars. They're looking to put a stop to Wilm's sizzling performance on the mound.
Yeah, this is the time to rally. If you can get it done in just 7 innings, make it happen. It's that final push. And you've seen that throughout the season that there are ladies on both of these teams that can get it done. They can make those plays when they've needed to that have been able to get them to this point. And it'll be interesting to see who has brought that intensity in that A game to really forge through this final part of the game. Will it go to extra innings? What's your prediction? Are we making it?
Ooh, that's hard to say. I mean, the way these two teams have played, it's certainly possible, but we'll see. There was a running joke when I was with Major League Baseball for a couple of years, and I did some Saints games for CTN a few years ago, and the running gag, you might be familiar with this, Blythe, as we have a foul bunt from Helseth for strike one. Anything to end the game as quickly as they could. We all know it's an untimed sport, but there probably are some folks hoping that Centennial can score a run here. So then we don't have to play the bottom half of the seventh, but Maple Grove is not one of them. Helseth continuing to show bunt, and Wilm makes the throw to first for out number one.
But how can Centennial maybe use that as momentum? They have, that was a pretty close chance for them to get onto base. But they're making contact on those pitches, and that is really what they need to continue to do.
So we're going to have a pinch hitter for Centennial. 16 for 14, which means Lily Cummins is going in for Lemire. Cummins is the flex player. One and 0 to Cummins. Cummins on the season hasn't fared all that well, hitting just 115. But all it takes is one in a scoreless game. You just need one run on the board.
Yeah, how does your offense, how do they take care of business? Allow them just to come out there, get those defensive outs, and make it happen there in the seventh.
2-0 to Cummins, who is pinch hitting for Lemire. She shows bunt, and it is fouled into the backstop, 2-1.
But what's working for Maple Grove, they still have pitching for them, and that has been a consistent factor throughout this game. They do have that out on the board already. That also works in their favor here in the bottom of the sixth.
And Wilm has proven unhittable thus far. Called third strike. Number 12. Can you believe that, 12 strikeouts?
No, I'm still mind blown, especially again, it's not, I mean, like you said, she's a player that of course has been playing softball probably for quite some time, but to have that first year on varsity and now sit in a game as difficult as this matchup is and be performing at the height of it.
Byrne laid off that bunt attempt, and she'll take ball one. That bounces into foul territory, and Centennial, you can tell, at least with Byrne and Helseth, they are getting a little more crafty with these at-bats, trying anything just to get on base.
I just know how important this could be here in the sixth if they could get that run to trickle in just right in the nick of time, allow them to take care of business, get those outs in that next inning.
1-2, and that may take away the bunting option for Byrne. 12 strikeouts for Maddie William. Putting in arguably her best pitching performance this season against one of the perennial contenders. That one gets away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 12 strikeouts, no runners allowed.
It's always nice to see athletes rise to the occasion, those big games, to have just those moments in their career that really stand out. And today I would have to argue, like you said, would be one of those moments.
The 2-2 pitch. That one hit foul and out of play. And again, that's if Wilm can sustain it, but we haven't seen anything to suggest she has lost her edge. When you get to these rounds, though, it's usually the defense that wins out. We saw it yesterday in second round action. And Byrne extending the at-bat. Maple Grove 1-2-0. Centennial 1-1-0. So we're at that stage where it's unlikely you're going to put together a multi-run rally. And Maple Grove, we should point out, they've got that cheat sheet on their left arm as well. I didn't notice that until today. That one outside, full count. I've called a lot of softball games. I didn't realize all the athletes have these straps.
Yeah, it's nice. Makes it convenient.
You don't see that in the pros. I don't think they allow it. Just one of those interesting oddities. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And Centennial gets their first runner on, so that takes away a chance at a perfect game from Wilm, but she still has the no-hitter possibility. Lily Gilmore has other ideas, so she will come to the plate with a runner on for the Cougars.
Yeah, now the Crimson having to really think defensively after Centennial finally finds their way onto first base.
Gilmore with the first pitch swing down right field, and it drops foul. And Byrne, she was behind in the count and used patience as her ticket to reach. That's the 4th walk Byrne has drawn this season, and all the stats in section and state tournament play are counted in the overall season standings. High and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gilmore.
And now this is the moment that I've been talking about throughout the game. It's just, how can Centennial use this? This is what they've wanted. They've wanted to be in this position, still 0-0, knowing that they have the opportunity to really knock Burns home. Gilmore at the plate.
Well, Byrne on first, so she might need a knock or two to get in there. But if you hit one to the gap, it's 2 outs, so Byrne is going no matter what. Get one into the gap, and that could get you the run on the board. 1-2 to Gilmore. Swing and a miss. Gilmore retired on the off-speed pitch. And Wilm still has a no-hitter intact as we head to the top of the 7th. Maple Grove will try to get on the board when we come back.
Let's sit and chat and drink coffee, and maybe we could see if we could be. Oh, 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 you and me. Let's get together and make believe we'll share our hearts and share our dreams. Now what do you think about you and me? Maybe we can always be forever you, forever with me. Oh, 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 I bet you're thinking I'm a little too romantic. Oh, but baby, now don't get frantic, 'cause when I love, my loving's gigantic. Oh, and I think that's alright. Let me dream, oh, a girl can dream, and maybe it's not as crazy as it seems. Me loving you, you loving me right back. And now cut me some slack. Oh, 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 oh.
Gustafson, Wilm, and Ava Eiley due up in the top of the 7th. Maple Grove getting a few runners on, but they have stranded them all. Helene Craig got a couple of strikeouts, and she will look to keep Maple Grove off the board and give Centennial a chance for a walk-off in the 7th.
Yeah, the mindset here for Maple Grove is wanting to, of course, throughout the game, wanting to get that run on the board, but when they think about just Centennial having that opportunity to seal the deal, if they don't, really puts a little bit more pressure on.
Either way, even if we have extras, because of the holiday weekend, the loser wouldn't play until Tuesday, so plenty of time for the pitchers to rest up and get their arms ready for that crucial week where state tournament berths are decided. A 3-1 count to Gustafson. State tournament, of course, held in Mankato. I know the spring sports, they don't draw the same level of attention as the big ones, football and hockey and basketball. But for these players, you saw Blythe. Doesn't matter how many people, how many headlines you get when you win a section title and go to state, it's a big deal.
Oh, definitely. It was awesome even to see them make it to state last season, get 3rd.
A blooper down the left field for a base hit. And Gustafson is on the board. She is 2 for 3 now, had that double back in the 2nd, and Maddie William will get to bat with a runner on.
So we got to see O'Connell work her way and keep her team out of danger. Now we'll have to see Craig work to keep this clean slate.
Maple Grove calling a conference here. Centennial having a quick chat as well.
That's a good idea. Making sure your team's on the same page. What needs to happen? How do you get this done?
Centennial's coach. You don't see this often, Blythe. With the attire he's got, it looks like after this game he would hit up the gym with the apparel he has on. Got the Centennial softball t-shirt.
Yeah, he's repping the school, and like I said, it's fun for him to coach his daughter. Junior year, and she still has another season with him as well.
Right now, he wants to make sure Centennial gets to their half of the 7th without having to play from behind as Wilm fouls that one away. Wilm 0 for 2. She reached on an error back in the 5th inning. And she's got a runner on first here in Gustafson with that base hit to left field. One and one. If you're watching us late on the television broadcast, Riley O'Connell pitched 5 splendid innings, gave up a couple of hits, but did not allow anyone to come home. Aline Craig came in the 6th for relief. Got a couple of strikeouts. Two and one to Wilm. A battle between 1 versus 2. It may not be the last. Wilm hits that one softly, and it's caught by number 32, I believe. Thomas, I think she got over there in time. In any event, Wilm is retired.
Yeah, those are the plays that Centennial needs to make in a time like this, making sure they're getting those outs on the board. Having one, it's going to help them down the stretch.
Eiley takes that first pitch for a strike as it finds the zone. Eiley with the sacrifice play back in the 5th inning.
Alleviate some of the pressure, of course, having the one runner on first. But if you can start to tick away and get some of those outs, make sure they can't make it all the way.
And there's another sacrifice play as Helseth read the bunt. So Gustafson advances to second. Again, though, with less than an out, and given the lack of production from the batters today, Maple Grove trying the small ball route again. We'll see if Faith Cry can make the most of it.
Infield trying to stay aware. That runner on second.
And with 2 out, any hit to the outfield would bring Maple Grove in, but a first pitch swing and a catch by Cummins. So Maple Grove strands another runner, and Centennial will have a chance to win it as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
We in Spring Lake Park believe in building a strong and safe community. Our city moves onward and upward while holding on to our traditions and roots. We maintain a small town feel even though we are nestled next to the big city. We believe in being good neighbors and building community with safe neighborhoods. And we believe in citizenry and promote being active both physically and socially. We in Spring Lake Park love to play and believe in having an abundance of parks, playgrounds, and green space so that everyone can take a moment to enjoy the natural beauty that surrounds us. We believe in educating our children well, so we use the most advanced tools of learning to ensure continued success and bright futures. We promote athletics to keep our children fit and healthy and build a sense of teamwork. We in Spring Lake Park believe in providing a good, stable home for industry and small business to thrive. We have a large variety of successful businesses that have found continued success and benefit from excellent visibility off Highway 65. And a large customer base, as we are located only 15 minutes outside of downtown Minneapolis. Come visit us in Spring Lake Park, and you will see why we believe our city is one of a kind.
The rally caps are on for Centennial, and they need it if they want to advance to the section final. That is what's at stake. It will be Just, Craig, and Ruberg due up. And Just chases that one. Maddie Wilm through 6 innings, 13 strikeouts, and the no-hitter is still intact. Now, if she gets out of this inning, that would be extended. Just with a grounder to right field for a base hit.
Massive, massive play for Justin. Is it just in time for the Cougars?
I'm sure she's heard that more than once. So the no-hitter is no more for Maddie Wilm, but you have to tip your cap to what has been one of the best performances we have seen from Wilm, but just with a key leadoff hit for the Cougars.
Again, that's when the pressure, it starts to come. It starts to pile on here in that 7th inning. Knowing a lot is at stake. A young pitcher with the program. A lot of weight on her shoulders going into this final part.
Wilm the junior. And here's Helene Craig, who has struck out twice. The winning run on base. Craig takes the first pitch for a strike. And no matter what happens, I think Wilm can certainly build off this performance, whether it's Tuesday, the section final, or next season. 13 strikeouts through 6 innings.
Yeah, definitely a remarkable stat for this game from her.
No matter the level, that's a big deal. Craig lays off that one as it goes high, 1-1.
Great spot for Craig to be in with those RBIs she's had against the Crimson. Now Centennial having that runner on first.
High and away, 2-1. The winner gets a few days off and will play Thursday, knowing that they'll have 2 chances to win 1 game and go back to the state tournament in Mankato. The 2-1 pitch to Craig. That one finds the corner, 2-2. Just on first. Pitching away. And Just is picked off. Just making an aggressive play there. It didn't work out. Craig with a full count, but Just caught stealing.
You think about how this game has gone, though. You do have to take some of those chances, possibly put yourself in position. You have an opportunity here in this 7th inning with this 0-0 game. I probably would have tried to make that same call.
So 1 down and nobody on. Tough break for the Cougars, who finally got a hit past Wilm. Well, they get another runner back on first as Craig draws the walk.
I'm sure a little worried just about how well she's been able to do with them in the past.
And that's where Just getting caught on the throw to second. I think if you're Centennial, you'd like to have her because you'd have the winning run in scoring position. Instead, you effectively trade a runner for an out. But Centennial will try again as Ruberg will take the plate following this mound visit. And we will have a pinch hitter coming in for Centennial.
Caitlyn Casper, excuse me.
Caitlyn Casper. Interesting call here by Centennial. Ruberg is the leading hitter by batting average, but Casper coming in green. Based on the data we have, just one at bat. Talk about a pressure cooker.
Well, I think for her getting to run the bases.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I'm pretty sure she's.
Thank you. we got a clarification. Casper is courtesy running for Craig, and Brent Ruberg is at the plate. Well, that would have been quite the buildup.
That's why I was surprised. I was like, I don't think that's what's happening.
There's a grounder up the middle for a base hit. Casper goes to second, will hold up there. A first pitch swing for Ruberg. And Centennial with runners on first and second.
Feel this momentum building, Centennial. How can they use this right now? But Ruberg, huge play, getting that hit when she needed to.
So Centennial does get a runner in scoring position. Riley O'Connell comes to the plate. O'Connell doing pretty well herself. She was hitting .417 entering this game. She has struck out twice. So Centennial putting together their first threat. Can they win again in walk-off fashion? They did that twice in section play last year. That first pitch high. Blythe, you were talking about this a while ago. It seemed like Maddie Wilm was unhittable, but the more times you go through the order, the trickier it gets.
Yeah, it starts to wear on these pitchers, and you see that happen time and time again. If you can get them in this position, just give them more opportunity to make that mistake.
A strike was called. I think O'Connell wanted time. Here's another look. O'Connell didn't get it in time, and now she thought she had struck out, but it's 1-2. And O'Connell's going to have a chat with her coach here. And if there's any time to get settled in, this would be the time to do it. And count is 1-2. The count is 1-2. O'Connell thought she struck out, but the count was 1-2. And so I think in that situation, calling a timeout, get yourself refocused, especially with the circumstances here.
Yeah, a lot on the line. Wanted to make sure understands what this moment means. Again, just important to just find that calm, that composure to step up to the plate. And I think that was a great decision there by Coach Thomas.
Casper at second. Ruberg on first. 1-2. High. Centennial didn't get a runner on until the 6th. Didn't record their first hit until this inning. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. O'Connell fouls that one. And she keeps the at-bat intact. Maddie William in her first season on varsity. Based on this game, you'll probably hear her name a lot next year for the Crimson. Trying to work her way out of a jam after blazing through the lineup. 13 strikeouts, but all she cares about is this threat she's facing. 2-2. Missed the zone.
And the Cougars talk about the home field advantage. You do hear quite a few fans here for the Cougars and trying to help cheer them to victory in the bottom of the 7th.
Full count, runners on first and second for O'Connell. Hits that one down right field, but it's out of play. Keeping the at-bat alive, though.
Yeah, you see how different O'Connell is there at the plate after that moment with Coach Thomas. Seems like she's settled in.
Right, she thought she struck out a few pitches ago after not being granted a timeout. Here comes the payoff pitch. Low. And the bases are full.
They Well, what a difference this 7th inning has been for the Cougars.
In the pros, you hear about the 7th inning stretch. Centennial trying to come through in the stretch. Bases loaded.
Yeah, they pre-stretched. They were ready as the 7th inning began.
Bases loaded for Adriana Thomas. Thomas struck out twice. But Wilm in a jam here. She has walked 2. And just remember, she got caught stealing to lead off after getting that single. Thomas fouls that one. You know, if just doesn't get picked off, Centennial might have the win here, but Thomas has a chance to give the Cougars just that.
Yeah, it's true when you think about what has went down in the 7th. Circumstances were different.
The 0-1. High. That's the thing with this sport, and again, how unpredictable it is. Depending on who wins, you're going to look back on these moments late. If Maple Grove ends up winning, you might look back on that pickoff that led to just being caught stealing. If Centennial wins, you're going to forget about all that. Here comes the 1-1. Low. Two and 1 to Thomas. Thomas has drawn 5 walks this season. Has a pair of doubles, but doesn't need one here. A single will do. Or a walk. High. 3 and 1.
Good position for Thomas. Great decision making, again, being aware of what's coming at her.
Bases loaded. 3 and 1. 1 out. Wilm finds the zone. That's so tough as a hitter when you get that favorable count. Thomas laying off there, and I don't blame her. Make the pitcher earn that strike. Here comes the payoff pitch with the bases loaded. It's high, and it's a walk-off walk for the Cougars. Their 3rd straight walk-off win in postseason play against Maple Grove.
Patience was the storyline here. The Cougars, they made sure they put them in that position to strike when they needed to. Whew.
Add this to the highlight reel. Last year, you had the traditional hit in the section final. It was an error. Today, a walk-off walk, and Centennial will get a few days off and play Thursday in the section final. Of course, they could get Maple Grove again, Blythe. This was a pitcher's duel, and Maddie William Tip of the cap, 13 strikeouts. But Centennial's patience, like you said, the difference in the 7th inning. And there are no extras this time. We end in regulation. What a game, Blythe.
Yeah, I'm still so impressed with the performance. Both teams laid it all out there.
So Craig will get the win, Wilm will get the loss, but remember, this could be just the first of 2 meetings as Maple Grove will play in the consolation bracket on Tuesday. Winner of that one will play Centennial on Thursday. I have a feeling North Metro TV, whoever Centennial gets, will be there as well. Thursday, June 2nd, Centennial softball looks to make it another trip to state, their 2nd in a row. For Blythe Whaley and the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching the Section 5 4A softball semifinals. Centennial wins with a walk-off walk 1-0 over Maple Grove.